Hi everybody, welcome to a segment I call See Where They Rust. Did I invent the phrase? Nope, I saw it on Bring a Trailer a couple of years ago. And it was kind of interesting when they showed the cars. But when I was pulling this apart to transfer all the parts into another 914 that I just did the chassis on. And what it was, I could not believe the amount of rust that's in this car. It's actually scary when you bring it up on the lift, I'll show you. It's so bad that there's no saving the car, and I'm going to chop it up with a sawzall because A, it's not worth bringing it to the scrapyard because what do you get, $10 and you pay $20 in gas? You know, so if you chop it up and put it in another car, you break even, you know. But I'm taking off every single part that I can use off of this car before I crush it. You know, pretty much the only thing that's going to be crushed on this thing is just the rusty crap. That's it. So nothing will go to waste. Everything will be actually reused or saved, you know, for down the line for another car. But let's jack this thing up, and well, let me first pop the hood. We're gonna start in here, and then we're gonna go back, or not backwards, forward as I'm standing, looks like going that way. But we'll go backwards, and I'll show you where everything in this car rusted, and hopefully it'll save you from making mistakes. You'll sit there and go, all right, I got to do my due diligence and look at where all these places where this thing rusted, just in case. The 914 I'm trying to buy for 20, 30, whatever, $1,000 or whatever they you know work out to be, you know, you don't make a mistake, you know, and someone didn't just patch it over and with just some, you know, scumbag trying to, you know, hide everything and, you know, pass it off on you. I just want it, hopefully it'll help you. That's all I care about, and that's the only reason why I'm making the video, because maybe it'll save someone, you know, in the long run. That's it. So, hey, let's take a look at where it's rusted, and we'll start by popping the hood. Actually, let's first start off with the headlamp bucket. Right here is a drain. And when this drain gets clogged, this is all rusty. You know, this is where the hole will start to go because the dirt and everything builds up. Just make sure those are clean, but check, you know, see, this is rusty. Check that. Let's go look at the other one. Here's the right side. It's even worse. As you can tell, here's the drain. This drain had clogged up. This is all junk, you know. So this is where you all have to look to make sure that drain wasn't clogged up. Let's open up the hood. I'm going to take the hood off, flip it around, and show you what happened with that. All right, here's the front trunk, whatever you want to call it. This right here is the latch mechanism that pretty much goes like this, this is all bent up, like that. And when I went to open the hood, this stayed on the latch mechanism and the hood opened. Pretty easy. But unfortunately, the hood this is garbage for pretty much any type of stock application. If you're going to make a rally hood out of it, it's great because you can cut things out and put handles on it and cut it hole for lights and all that and not worry about it. It's junk anyway, so you can use it as junk. Also take a look at this. This was also a piece that was in there. Right here. Also, it's all rotted out and flopping around. You can also take a look where in the back where the hinges are. It's all starting to rust right here. This is supposed to be an absolutely nice hole, but it's all starting to rust on the inside. This is what you get with these, you know, when the drain holes get kind of clogged. This probably wasn't fully clogged, but as you can see, it's starting to rust like there. Let's get this thing up on the lift. Hopefully it won't collapse on me, and we can look on the underneath. Well, starting at the front, these do have a tendency, this one's not rotted, which I'm surprised, but these have a tendency to rust right here. And if you take a look on the bottom of the fenders, starting to rust. This one's been, you can tell there's a Bondo in it. If you go over to here, also, right where the floor pan seams are, you know, the trunk pan and the side basically fender wall, if you want to call that, where they get joined together with resistance welds, this is where the water collects and where they rust. Now, as we go further over to here, we have the bottom of the spare tire well. This is where the hook is right here. But as the bottom of the spare tire well, water collects right here, and of course, rust happens. We'll also go over to here. This is where the fuel tank, the bottom of the fuel tank sits, is right around in here. As you can see, this is all rusted, all just waiting to come apart. That's that's terrible. Now let's go over to the right-hand inner fender well. This is all rotted. This right here, you can see it, that's your heater box. Right there. That's all rusted. And you can see all the rust starting to occur on the seams inside here. This is the fender. This is the chassis. And it's basically resistance welded to the chassis. Let's keep going back. Here's the right-hand side jacking point. As you can see, all rusted. And if you look over to here, this is the heater box pipe right there. And as the floor is bowed right there, because I threw the lift underneath here because I didn't care. It's all being lifted up anyway. There's not much weight in here anymore because I pulled the drivetrain out and then I re-jacked it all up. Before I had a whole piece of plywood underneath here jacking this thing up to maintain, stability, but that's beside the point. As you can see, this is all rusted, all in through here, all in through here, all the way. Here's more rust. This is all the way. This is still on the right-hand side of the car, and this is the rear chassis. Like this. The whole pan is where the water sat and rotted out. And you can see inside here, this is the jacking point. That'll jack up very well. And this is all done. This is just, there is nothing left. Let's go over to the other side and I'll show you this. It's basically the same thing. Here we are on the left-hand side of the car. As you can see, this is all gone. All the way through. You can just stick a screwdriver right through there. Same thing over here. Here's the heater box, or the pipe's internal, which is actually pretty decent. Yeah, it's not rusted through. And we got this all up through here. Let's go down the sill. Here's the end of the sill on the left-hand side. And you see it's all rot. The whole thing is just rot. And there's nothing basically holding anything up. Let's go to the inner part of the fenders, or the fenders in the rear. Now we're looking at the left side rear fender. If you can take a look all up inside there. It's all rotted, just nothing there. And if you can sit there and take a look over here, nothing there also. And it's all starting to rust in through here too. Let's take a look over on the other side. We're now here on the left-hand side rear fender. If you could take a look up inside, all rotted. So make sure you look there that this stuff has been, that it's still there. And you can take a look where the door latch mechanism is, because that's all rotted. And take a look right down there. All the frame rail is completely rotted. It's really bad. Then if you take a look at this, the rear suspension completely rotted off. Now let's go look to the back. This is the heat shield right here, completely rotted out. And if you look at all of this stuff right inside here, believe it or not, this is actually solid for some reason. I don't know why, but this back panel is gone. It's, that is pretty much a really nasty thing. Let me lower this down. I'm going to show you the rest of the trunk area and the engine bay, and that should be it for what you guys should look out for. Here on the back lid, we already, you can see here's rust that's really permeated. I assume it's from it flowing down these channels and resting right here. This is just about rotted through. I'll put my screwdriver underneath there so I can hit it. And you see where the hinges bolt, they're all rusty right there and starting along the seams. So that's what you also take a look on when you look at the rear lids. Take a look at that. You'll see, if there's been rust there, you'll see it sandblasted, or if it's actually clean, it's absolutely clean. That'd be great. Let me put this off to the side. We'll pull the trunk cover or the mat cover, what I want to call it, and I'll show you what's underneath there. Take a look right here. This is on the left-hand side where the rear bumper mounts. It's starting to rot all right through there too. You'll see the rots along the seams and right down here along this seam too. It's the same for over on the other side. Let's go into the engine bay and we'll go to the sides and wrap it up. Hopefully the light is good enough, but take a look down here. We have rust all on the side here. You see this big gaping hole? Well, there's supposed to be metal there. It's like, whoops, lightness. And also we got a big gaping hole right here too. Let's go to the side. Here on the side of the car where the target top, what would you call this? I think that's the best thing I say, it's a B-pillar. All rusted right in through here, rusted through here, and rusted through here. I've seen this in a number of cars. Just dust. Well, let's wrap it up. Well, there you go. Hopefully, as you can see, when I sit down on this thing, it bends the car. Like that door over there is the only thing holding it from breaking in half. It's just like, oh my God. I had to actually jack the car up in order to close that door and this door. I opened up that door the other day, but I had to jack it up in order for the body to flex back up inside, close it so it wouldn't collapse on me. Pulling it, I mean, I'll tell you right now, don't do what I did. Don't jack this thing up on a lift and pull the drivetrain. Just cut the friggin' thing in half. You know, after looking at it and what's going on, I mean, the target top and the doors are holding it together. It's just like, you know. And I was very careful of being around and underneath. I was just waiting for it to break, you know. But I got everything down, got everything out. It was fairly easy, you know. It was like not very many bolts to do. That's pretty much it. But I hope you can, you know, when you buy a 914, you can look around and say, oh, I need to check these areas. That's the only thing I care about. You know, if you check the areas and see exactly where this one rusted, guess what? The other one should rust just like it, you know. There's other places that I've seen rusted on these cars, which is not, believe it or not, it's not rusted on this one. But as in a whole, as in the most amount of rust, this is by far the worst, you know. Because when I sit on it, you can see the target top move underneath the rail. It's like, let me put this down. Watch this. You can see the target top it's sliding in and out. Oh, but other than that, hey, you know, have a great day, and hopefully this saves you some money. That's all I care about. You know, just be careful and buy, because these cars are actually a hell of a lot of fun. So, hey, have a great one. Thank you now. Bye. Well, hopefully you will check on where these rust, you know, and my whole goal is so you get a good car that you can drive for a long, long time. That's the only goal I have. If I can sit there and say, all right, this is, I don't even like sitting on here. Let me show you why. I want you to show, you see, here's the target top. I loosened up one side, not the other, and that door right there, I unhooked because it was holding this car together. And to prove it, still locks. Let me prove this. Watch this right here, up and down. What do you think? It's broken in half. Oh my God. All right, now you know why I'm gonna friggin' chop this thing up. There's no way of fixing it. All right, let's call it an end. There we go. As you can see, I don't even like sitting on this thing because it's moving the, I don't like sitting on it. But I got to take a Sawzall and chop this thing up because the safest way to get this thing out of here is in pieces. No other way. Tell you the truth, don't jack up a car with this much rust and take the drivetrain out. Very dangerous. I did it because I'm a hillbilly, and yeah, I was pretty careful. I mean, I had a huge piece of, you know, a bunch of wood and all this stuff, all supporting everything, and underneath it, and I had the doors locked. I had the doors, you know, locked together, and it was holding it together just enough to make sure I could pull the drivetrain and get it out of there. That's the main point, because it's going to be used in the other one. And it is, you know, it is a 2 liter, so other than that, thank you very much for showing up. And please, you know, buy these cars. These cars are hilarious to drive. They're a lot of fun. You know, no power, but they're a lot of fun. And I think, you know, if you can find where all the rust is, you know, and make sure you're not buying a clam, you're going to be that much better in the long run. Because then you will have a car that's going to last, and just rebuilding these things is just, you can continually rebuild them. That's what they were designed to do. But other than that, thank you very much for watching the video. Hopefully you'll get something where it'll spark an, you know, a light on where to look if you are trying to buy one of these. And, you know, that's pretty much it. So thank you, and have a good one, and good luck. You're going to enjoy it. Bye. I figured I'd show you the motor I pulled out of it and just took the heat shields off. I really do not think this is gonna run. Oh, could be wrong. Just a hillbilly. Well, you can take a look. It's a little bit clearer here. As you can see, it goes all the way up into the target top. Take a look over here. That right there. And this. Oh my God. I didn't know it was this bad. It didn't look nearly as bad when the dark, but it's holding on by just the skin of its teeth.